So you're a new American Bully puppy owner. You're trying to understand when you're looking at these pedigrees, what is UKC and what is ABKC? This is more geared towards my newer people, the newer people to the community. Welcome. In this video, I'm going to be discussing with you my top 5 differences when discussing the differences between the UKC registry and the ABKC registry. Stay tuned and let's get into the intro.
Speedy, baby.
Now, first and foremost, before we actually get into the video, we're going to be discussing basic things to know if you're new to the American Bully community. By the way, welcome. So when you're looking at a breeding and you see the parents and you see UKC registered only, and the same thing goes for the ABKC side. If you see ABKC registered only, that means that those dogs are exclusively registered under those registries. So if you see UKC registered only, they're with UKC. If you see ABKC registered only, they're with ABKC. Now, with that being said, if you don't know what they stand for, UKC stands for the United Kennel Club, and the ABKC stands for the American Bully Kennel Club. So this video, as I said, is geared up towards helping you all become better informed. If you're new to the community, this will help you in understanding, okay, this is what the pedigree means, and you just want to become familiar with what you're doing, especially if you're getting into breeding and you really want to get your papers handled. Now, with that being said, when you're looking at the pedigree itself, when you see GRCH or CH, GRCH stands for Grand Champion and CH stands for Champion, and that's exclusive through both registries. Now, let's say, for example, your dog is only registered under ABKC. Don't feel bad. You can actually register your dog from ABKC as long as it has papers into UKC. I did that with Ghost, so that I was able to get him in a confirmation showroom. So now that we have all of that information out there, we're gonna be getting into my number 1 biggest difference. You're gonna be seeing different breed types from the UKC to ABKC confirmation showroom. The UKC caters more to the overwhelming dog population. So when you go to a UKC show, you're gonna be seeing the Great Dane, Rottweilers, Australian Shepherds, German Shepherds, Italian Greyhounds, Bullies, and that's just off my head alone. That's not even the overwhelmingly amount of dogs that compete there. Now, in the ABKC show ring, that considers more towards the bully breeds. The English Bulldogs, the Shorty Bulls, the Pocket Bullies, XL Bullies, Standard Bullies, Classic Bullies, etc. The ABKC caters more towards the bully breeds. So when you see UKC and ABKC, ABKC is more for the bully breed side, whereas the UKC is just the complete dog community. So my second biggest difference to all of you when discussing the ABKC and UKC show rings are the way the dogs compete when you're going to a confirmation show ring. So let's say you got a dog, right? You think they're show quality and you think that they could do well in the ring. Well, if you bring that dog into the ABKC show ring, for example, let's say they're an XL bully. Your dog is going to be exclusively competing against XLs in their age group. So if your dog is in the 1 to 2 age group, you're going to be competing with other XLs in his age group. Once you win that round, then you go to the best female, best male round. If you win that round, then you go to the best overall XL. Once you win that round, then you go to best of winners. UKC takes a similar approach to this, but it's different. You're actually competing with the American Bully breed itself first. So you're gonna be in a ring with not just a specific class, you're gonna be in a ring with Pocket, Classics, Standards, and XLs if you're lucky enough to get the American Bully community to show up to a UKC show. You're gonna be in the ring together, and it goes by age group. Basically the same approach like ABKC. The only differences is that you're gonna be going up against the best champion and the best grand champion if they're there within your breed. Because once you get the best of breed for the American Bully within the UKC confirmation show ring, then you compete for best in group. And to compete in best in show, you have to win best in group. So those are the little nuances and little differences. So my third biggest difference when discussing the ABKC and UKC registries is the point system. In ABKC, you are required to get 150 points in 3 majors. In UKC, you are required to get 100 points and 3 competition wins before becoming a champion. To become a grand champion in ABKC, you need at least 5 champion wins. And in UKC, in order for you to become a grand champion, you have to get 5 legs. Now, in the ABKC show ring, you compete in your class first. As long as there's one other dog present in your class, if you win first place, you are awarded 10 points. Now, the next round is the major round. In this round, you're going to be competing against the winners of the puppy class, 9 to 12 month old, and the 3 and up class. So if your dog is the 1 to 2 class, you're going to be competing with those dogs. Now, at this point, as long as there's one other dog present, it doesn't matter if they're older or younger, if your dog wins that round, your dog then goes on to the best overall XL round and gets a major win. And that's a 20-point total win. So for best male and best female, that is your major and 20 points. As long as there's at least one other dog to compete with. From there, you go to the best overall XL round. When you get into this round, this is the best male versus the best female. From there, the winner of that goes on to best of winners, where at that point, you compete against the best pocket, the best standard, the best classic. And if you're lucky enough to win that round, then you go on to face the best champion and best grand champion. If you're lucky, chances are it's not going to happen unless your dog is like complete fire. Chances are in the ABKC show ring, that's really not going to happen. But once you get past that best of winners round, you're actually not going to be getting any more points. The maximum amount of points you could get in the ABKC show ring at any point in one show is 50 points and 1 major. And now when you step into the UKC show ring, you have your 3 classes just like ABKC. And then from there, the winner then competes in the best male or best female round. The first initial round, your age class, let's say you win that round. In UKC, that is a 5-point round. The next round, when you go to best male or the best female round, let's say your dog wins that. That round is considered a competition win and 10 points. So you see how in ABKC it was 10 and 20. In UKC is 5 and 10. From there, you go on to the best overall between the best male and best female. That is a 5-point win. From there, you go up to facing the best champion, grand champion, if you're lucky and if they even show up. Now, for example, let's just say that there is no competition because I was in this position. There was no competition that came out to face Ghost when I took Ghost to the UKC confirmation show ring. The biggest difference between ABKC and UKC is, let's say, for example, there's no dogs in your age group in ABKC. Your dog does actually not get any points for getting a first place ribbon. They actually just move you up into the next round. So, for example, let's say there are no other XLs competing in that ABKC confirmation show that you're in. Your dog will get 0 points until best of winners, and if they're lucky to win, that's when you would get your first set of points. So in UKC, if there is no competition, your dog is awarded 5 points just for even showing up to the event. So right away, you're getting points contributed towards the champion title. Now, I didn't notice at the time, but if the judge deems it necessary that your dog is worthy of that win, let's say there is no best male or best female. Let's say there is no competition. The judge could deem it fit that your dog is the best male in a UKC confirmation show, which means that your dog is awarded 10 points. They won't get a competition win, but they can get 10 points. So in any UKC show, as long as the judge deems it necessary and deems that your dog is worthy of that win, they will give you the 10 points for the best male round, which means that you could get up to 15 points if there is no competition in the UKC show ring. Now, you won't get anything in the further rounds because there are no other dogs present. There may not be any best champions or best grand champions. And if there's not any of that there, then you go right into the best in group round, which in UKC, the best in group is the companion group. That's the group you show under in the UKC show. Now, for example, you're like, wait, well, how do I get my 3 competition wins? There are actually ways UKC embedded within the actual process to becoming a champion that are more beneficial than ABKC. So in ABKC, you have to get 3 first place wins to get a major. In UKC, you just need to have a group placement that is higher than the breeds that are competing for best of companion group. So my 4th biggest difference, and this is going to be controversial to a lot of people, and listen, I don't side either way. Everyone has their preferences, but My number 4 biggest difference between the ABKC and UKC registries are the type of bully that each prefer. If you're showing an ABKC, you're gonna have more success with a dog that has bullier traits. What does bullier traits mean? That means the bigger head, the wider neck, the big thick bone, the wide chest spread, the compact back. You're gonna be seeing dogs that, for what people say, carry more bulldog traits. People are gonna say they lack functionality, that you can't work them, etc. This is why our community is so controversial at times. People have certain preferences, but we're talking about exclusively for the ABKC show ring, right? If your dog is competing and they show great breed type, and it's not difficult. If you look at the winners from Best of Nationals, if your dog actually kind of resembles that, you're gonna have a good chance of winning. If your dog does not look like that and they're lanky, they show terrier traits, and they're just smaller, chances are your dog is not gonna compete at a high level in the ABKC show ring. They prefer the bullier traits. Now, with this, and from experience for what I've seen, they put a heavy emphasis on these bullier traits, and when they do this, they sometimes lack with evaluating for the true conformation of the dog. Now, like I said, this is controversial, but this is just my opinion. These are things that I've witnessed, and these are things that I've seen. Now, when you're going into the UKC show ring, the UKC show ring prefers their dogs to have more of that athletic build. So a dog in ABKC that, has all that heavy, thick bone may not do well in the UKC show ring, because let's say, for example, your dog in the ABKC show ring has all of these traits, but their top line looks like the Nike swoosh. Let's say that they're severely cowhawk or they're east-west, but the mass and the block of your head and the big thick neck and the muscle just so overwhelming that your dog could get a first place win in ABKC. Whereas in UKC, the minute your dog starts moving and the train wreck city comes out, that's when UKC won't give you the win. In UKC, they're more thorough in their evaluations with how they look at your dog. So they're looking for the tight fronts. They're looking for the perfect head. They're looking for movement. They're looking for the rear assembly. They want to see how your dog moves. They want to see how they look in real time. Whereas in ABKC, I've seen some train wrecks win that shouldn't have won. In UKC, compared to ABKC, you can have a leaner dog and a dog that has tight conformation, and those dogs will win in UKC. Whereas in ABKC, they'll get completely overlooked by the dog that may have some flaws, but have bullier traits. The big mass, the thick bone, the big head. This just is what it is. It's controversial, and everybody has their opinion. So that wraps up difference number 4. Let's get into difference number 5. So my 5th biggest difference when discussing the differences between the ABKC and UKC registries are the way the judges evaluate. Now, this once again is going to be extremely controversial. A lot of people have stories. A lot of people complain. A lot of people feel that their dog doesn't get a fair shake. It just is what it is. But I'm going off of my knowledge. When I took Ghost to his first show, and I saw the way the judges were evaluating, I was fortunate enough to get judges that were doing very thorough evaluations on Ghost and really gave a good look to him. But I have seen in person that sometimes it feels like the winner is predetermined based on a certain look that they carry. So if your dog has the wow effect when they go into the ring, like it's like, God damn, that boy is brawling, he's big, he's thick. That initial reaction alone could overcome the flaws within that dog. So, for example, a dog with a high rear that looks great, big, bully look, those kind of dogs could beat your dog that could have good breed type and is damn near flawless with conformation. That dog can win. And that dog most likely will win over your dog, depending on who the judge is, because there'll be times you'll go into a ring, you do what you have to do, and when you're done, the judge already knows who they want to give the ribbon to. They're not even really looking. You'll finish and you'll look up before you're ready to do a stack. They're already giving you a ribbon. Whereas in UKC, they actually do a very thorough evaluation of your dog. They want to feel everything to its full extent. They actually want to see and make sure that the conformation of the dog is the way it's supposed to be. When you're doing the down and back portion, they really want to see how your dog moves. They really want to see functionality. They want to see that your dog's head is upright. They want to see that big dome piece. They want to see breed type. They want to compare each dog to their breed type. Exactly. And when you are done with the gate portion of the conformation show for UKC and you stack them, they will give a very thorough evaluation of each dog that you are competing against. And from there, they will make their decision. That is what the biggest difference is for me between the judges in the UKC ring and the ABKC show. All right, everybody, so that wraps up the video. And when we're discussing preferences, right, what shows you like to go to, which registry you should show under, I would say show under both. It doesn't hurt to try, and you find out what you like. For me, I prefer the ABKC show vibe. I just wish there were some things that UKC implemented with ABKC. But I have no issues with either of them, to be honest with you. I enjoyed my time with both. I just enjoy my time more with ABKC. ABKC, to me, promotes more of a family vibe. If you're going somewhere to compete at a high level and be serious, UKC is your show vibe. UKC, the handlers there want to win. They're going for the kill. And ABKC is just more so fun and games, is just having a good time. And that's what I like, right? For me, I'm a family guy. I like to have a good time. If I want to go at the end of a show and light a cigar with some friends, whatever the case is, I can do that. In UKC, you really can't. That's not what it is. And in UKC, they're not really like that, and they're not really going to communicate with you. So there's benefits between both registries. I would say register in both. Have a good time. Just show your dog and see how they do. And I'm just a neutral guy. I'm not a controversial guy. I actually don't prefer one more than the other based on the way the judges evaluate. I'm not like that. I really don't care. You got to know what your dog is and who they are. If you know you have a badass dog and you know your dog can compete at a high level, then your dog's going to compete at a high level regardless of which registry that they're in. You know what I mean? So that wraps up the video. Please don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. This video, like I said, was catered towards all of my newer people that are getting into the American Bully community. Just to give you further context as to understanding what to expect when you get to the showroom. That's the whole idea for me, is to help you guys, to help you become more knowledgeable and understand, okay, these are some of the things that I can expect. So with that being said, that wraps up the video, and we'll catch you on the next one.